Hi, guys, and welcome to a very special podcast. Today's episode, well, this evening's episode, isn't associated with Amazing Plastic, hence that's why the logo is different during the podcast. There is no sponsors for this show. I'm doing this show solely out as they say, out the goodness of my heart, but most importantly, I want to get a heated debate going about a few things that are, from an outsider's in perspective. As you can tell, I am not born in the United States. I do live in the United States, legally I might add. I pay my taxes. I am very happily married to my wife, who's also going to be in this podcast. And pretty much the topic of the topics of this podcast is going to range completely from left to right, from up to down, to in and out. And what I want to start with is, now bear in mind, my wife has practically no military background herself, but her father did serve in the Navy. So we're going to start there, and we're going to start with, do you want to say hi?
Hello.
Just hello, not hello, my name is so-and-so? Just a hello?
Just a hello.
Just a hello, okay. I'm recording this podcast as of 7:05 in the morning on Thursday, March 13th, 2014. I am your host. My name is Danny Army King Monahan. And the first topic I want to start off with is military and females in the armed services. Ranging from, Rangers, ranging from Marines, ranging from Air Force, Navy. It doesn't really matter who you serve, what branch you serve. I would like to thank every one of you who do serve, both male and female. Transgender, gay, straight, doesn't matter. Basically, if you have served or still do serve, I thank you with all of my heart. Thank you for your sacrifice. And I'm pretty sure my wife does too.
Yes.
And we're going to go on to the topic of, now I'm asking my wife, not as my wife, but as a female human species, if you will. Do you believe that women should be in the military?
Yes, if they want to be there, I think they should have every right to be there.
Now, do you know that there is no 5-star female generals?
No, I did not know that.
In fact, there's not even any 2-star female generals.
It's kind of sexist.
Actually, you want to know why?
Hmm.
Because, now, again, this is from an outsider's in perspective. I actually had a female superior officer when I was in the British Army. I saluted her and called her mom and until she told me otherwise. And so I'm not afraid of female officers. But, and again, this is just from an outsider's in perspective, I believe that the reason why there isn't that many female officers of 2-star general and higher isn't because the older farty tartsy generals like Patton and Pershing and whoever, who, you know what I mean, those typical there should be no women in the army, chewing on a cigar, like a bulldog chewing on a wasp, but simply because I'm a firm believer that most women in general, once they obtain a certain rank, want to look good to the brass, but don't want to be the brass, if you will. And so they end up becoming liaison officers. And once you become a liaison officer, you end up going into political power, which means you lose all military standings, basically. You can be a retired general or a retired colonel or a retired commander, but usually that's where your military history ends. You can't go re-enlist and start off pick up as at your rank when you left. You go back in as a straight up private, as a grunt, and have to work your way all the way back up. And I know most women don't want to do that, because I know most women can't do that, to be honest with you. Because, again, they're trying to set the precedence, if you will.
Right.
And if now, the soldier in me says, I would be okay with it. The dad in me says, oh, fuck no. But what if one of our daughters came to us and said, Mum, Dad, I want to join Army, Navy, whatever? What would be your reaction?
It would be ultimately her choice. I made decisions that didn't make my parents happy about things that I wanted to do. And so who am I to tell my daughter that she can't do the same thing?
Okay. So, what if she said that she wanted to be, I don't know, something in particular like a sniper, or things of that nature, where she actually wants to do something other than. I know most parents have set goals for their children. Like you've probably had a few daydreams of seeing our daughter, Melina, becoming a rodeo queen or whatever.
Oh, a long time ago.
Now, would you be upset if she decided not to be a rodeo queen?
No.
Okay.
I saw the road that led me to.
Mm-hmm.
And
give us a brief background of your rodeo history.
I did rodeo here in town. I did local rodeos. I was high school rodeo. Did barrels, pole bending, rodeo queening. I did it all. I trained horses. There's probably a good chance that had things not happened in my past that I would still be doing that.
Okay, was you in the PRCA?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and did you rank at all, or?
I did.
Where'd you rank?
Rookie of the year the first year I was there.
Ah, so we got a champion here today, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. So the reason why I'm trying to get this gist is because if my daughter, if Molly said to me, Dad, I want to join the Royal Marines, or I wanted to join the Queen's Own Fusiliers, or if I wanted to join the 3rd Armoured Brigade, or if I wanted to join the RAF, or if I wanted to join the Navy, I would pat her on the back, wish her all the best, and tell her don't listen to any stories that you hear about me.
Now, see, with Melina, it would be that, I would want her to go in with her eyes wide open,
Mm-hmm.
I want her to know what she's getting into, and if it's still something that she wants, then great. I mean, the Air Force, when they found out who my dad was,
mm-hmm.
wanted me to join them. And at one time I was considering it, very, very solidly considering it. And I did my research. I did background. I learned what I needed to learn. And ultimately, in the end, I turned them down.
Mm-hmm. See, I know that the Air Force and the Navy have their own football teams, both college, high school, college, and whatnot. Do they have their own rodeo teams?
No.
Okay.
No. To be in the rodeo, I did have a full ride scholarship to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I turned it down to join the PRCA.
Ah, okay, that says a lot. Thank you about that.
My life was always led for the rodeo.
Okay, that's cool. Now, let's give a little bit of brief history background here. They're probably thinking, how the hell does an English person like me and a redneck girl like you even meet? And I tell them we met because it was just fate. And that's what I do believe. I do believe that it was fate that me and you were meant to be. We were meant to meet. And so, do you want to shine the story on from your perspective or mine?
Go ahead.
Okay. Long story short, I flew over here to the States to do some desert field training out in Arizona. And we were then going to be shipped over to Alaska to do some Arctic training, to then go all the way over to Greenland to do some training over there. And while I was here stationed in Arizona, I was only here for like 4 or 5 weeks. I got a weekend pass, and some friends of mine said Vegas isn't that far. Typical Marines, gotta love those guys, and weren't Marines, but anyway, let's just say some American soldiers. I'm not going to say who, because they don't want their reputation tarnished. But Rangers, said bet me that they could outdrink us Royal Marines, and we were like, really, okay. So needless to say, we went for it, drove to Vegas, and yeah. Our fates were sealed from there, weren't they?
Yeah, they basically was.
Now we've got some personal detail and stuff.
You had a girlfriend at the time. I was with my ex.
Yep. And, well, now he's the ex and she's the ex, and I'm happy, you're happy, and, well, c'est la vie. Now, I want to talk about a topic that tends to get most people's backs up and start an argument. And I'm not looking to start an argument here, guys. I'm not looking to... I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Tea Party fellow. I don't care I don't care what your governmental party side that you swing. Hard left, hard right, hard centre. I don't care. But let's get a brief, reprieve here of understanding of who comes from what background. Would you consider yourself a Republican, a Democrat, an individualist? What?
I don't consider myself a Republican by any note, but I don't really consider myself a Democrat either.
So you're an individualist.
I look at who they are and what they're about, and that's where I go from.
Okay, so yeah, you're an independent. And you would be classified as an independent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, my family, my mother, is a hardcore Democrat.
Okay. I thought Cliff was a Republican, no?
He is.
Oh, so that must be very interesting during debate times and presidential elections.
My mother is very, very Democrat. My stepfather is very Republican.
Now, ironically, this is what I wanted to get across. Is so you do come from mixed sides, if you will.
I do.
So I have a simple outsider's in question, not only to you but to the listeners of this podcast, which is: if you have set term limits for your president, why do you not have set term limits for your congressmen, for your senators? You have term limits for mayors. You have term limits for chairmans. I believe you do. But
county?
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay. But do you see what I'm saying? You have term limits for some, but not for all. Why don't you just have term limits for all? Because let me give you a brief angle of where I'm coming from here. It is a lot of people keep blaming it on the current president and the current cabinet and the current, as they call it, the current administration. Well, why is it that they don't look at where the core of the issues arise? Think about it. The president cannot pass a bill without what?
The House and Senate.
And yet the House and Senate don't get cycled out every 4 to 8 years like your president does. And you seem to think it's fair to blame a person sitting in a chair. I don't care. I would be bringing this up even if it was Mitt Romney sitting in that chair right now. But the point is, where the most, what are they bloody called? The ones who take money from corporations and try and... Lobbyists. Where do the lobbyists go? They don't go to the president, do they?
No, they go to those senators and those House.
So again, this is from an outsider's in point of view here for a quick second, okay? Why is it that you don't demand that senators and congressmen and the representatives of the House have set term limits as well?
I think they should. So I can't answer that.
Actually, you can, because you can answer it from your perspective. This is what I'm trying to ask you. I'm trying to get from your angle. Think about it. You guys are so mad and so angry and so upset over the most minute things. Oh, unemployment went up 1%. Let's blame Obama. Oh, he's trying to get a unified healthcare system, kind of like half the rest of the world. Let's blame Obama. How about you look at the senators wearing the NASCAR style race suits with Pfizer and Shell and all these other corporations that, even though, now this is another thing, they have this whole anti-corruption thing going off in the government, yet apparently if it's claimed as a gift, it's not corruption.
Yeah, they're trying to say that they can't turn down gifts, and so that can't be considered corruption.
But that...
I'm sorry, if the mafia walked up to you and gave you a gift, you better watch your back because they're going to be calling that gift in.
Actually, it's illegal to accept a gift from any organized crime family. The federal, the FBI, and a few other agencies would be quite, like, especially the DEA, the FBI, and I believe the ATF would be interested in wondering why a mob family is, gifting you stuff.
Well, exactly.
But if I wear a suit with a red or a blue or an orange tie, that makes it legal. Right now, there's a whole thing going on between the CIA and Congress. The CIA is actually wiretapped and hacked computers belonging to senators. And yet the senators are all up in arms about it, yet they don't care when it's the people they're supposed to be representing.
Mm-hmm.
And from a military point of view, I think it's a freaking disgrace. From a civilian point of view, I think it's an absolute fucking disgrace. Because governments are not meant to regulate its people and protect corporations. They are meant to regulate corporations and protect the people. Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those things that makes me just scratch my head as to how, why, who, what, where,
It's this government is so corrupted and so backwards.
Okay.
That you could sneeze at the wrong time and you're going to be told that you're a terrorist or this or that.
Okay. See, now, and this is another big hot topic debate, immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm technically an immigrant, okay? I wasn't born in the States, okay? On my birth certificate, it doesn't say United States of America, and it sure as hell doesn't say Kenya, Republicans. It says Great Britain.
Right.
Now, where does the majority of white people in this country come from?
They all immigrated.
So isn't that ass backwards, as you were saying?
It is.
Think about it. Your roads, your bridges, your railroad, and your roads in general were built by the Italians, the Irish, and the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they American?
They're not.
So, in theory, the Chinese, the Irish, and the Irish, the Italians, and the Americans can come back and rip up your railroads and your roads and your buildings, like the Empire State Building. Just tear them up, right out the foundations, and take them back to their countries.
Yeah.
If immigration reform is going to be, and they keep talking about, oh, it's not those immigrants, it's these immigrants. Well, who are these immigrants? Say their nationality. Say it. Oh, you can't, because then guess what? The Constitution protection, because guess what? That's racist.
Yeah.
That's prejudiced. Again, I'm a firm believer in just open up your damn gates, okay? Plain and simple. Do like what you did before. Open up a place like Ellis Island, have the immigrants come in, fingerprint, bioscan, take a blood sample, bone marrow, do whatever tests you want to do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do all the background checks you want to do, CIA, NSA, FBI, it really don't matter. Even contact their home countries, like Great Britain, France, Germany, they've got nothing to hide. Tell them,
right.
Tell them, Joe Blow from Dulwich, Dulwich, England, wants American citizenship. Is he wanted for any crimes in your country? Well, no, he owns us parking tickets. All right, well, fine, pay your parking tickets and you'll get your citizenship. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because, honestly, this hypocritical, closed-minded, America's for Americans and no one else. Okay, again, the whole build a wall across Mexico to stop Mexicans coming in. My good God, are we in China trying to stop the Mongolians from attacking? Is it going to be the Great Wall of America next to the Great Wall of China that can be seen from space? You know? And that's this is another fucked up thing, okay? Going back to the military thing, and it's a both military and governmental thing here. Do you realize that the government has spent $35.8 billion on a jet that they can't even use?
No, I didn't.
Yep.
I don't keep up with the...
4,500 and some change of these special jets, and I'm not going to say their names because I don't want to be known for slander here, okay? Of these special jets that are going to be replacing the aging jets that are already in the air, in the Navy and the Air Force. I still don't understand why the Air Force, the Navy has to have jets. The Air Force is the Air Force and the Navy is the Navy. Navy, you fly, you have boats, and Air Force, you have jets. But anyway, point being is, there's more money being funded into this one jet project. And you want to know where they took the money from?
Where?
NASA.
Oh, good Lord. Why
do you think there's no more shuttles going up into space? There's no more moon... and here come the tin hat and the bacon sizzler guys here. No more moon landings. There is none scheduled. Not by NASA. All they have scheduled is maintenance on the Hubble telescope, the International Space Station, which they're getting ready to hand off to the Chinese government. The Chinese government has a more stable space program than America. That just baffles my fucking mind. You know? I mean, Kennedy would be turning in his grave.
A lot of them would.
Yes, I know Washington would be. But the point being is, okay, NASA lost a lot of their funding to pay for these jets that are already obsolete before they've even hit any military branch for use.
Well, it's just like you have previously said to me, America doesn't produce their own jets. They don't produce their own this or that. They buy off of England.
Yes. They use English Aerospace. They use English Aerospace Dynamics, which is a company otherwise known as Boeing. They also use British, steel, British aluminum. They use all the raw materials. Pretty much comes from England. Is partially assembled in Canada, and then shipped into the States to have final assembly done in the factories here in the States. But that is it. And aftercare and maintenance is performed by British technicians, not American. Because certain technologies escape Americans, which is kind of baffling to me,
Well, it's just like they spent how many millions of dollars to make a pen that will write upside down and in water when they could have just used a damn pencil.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing in the universe when Neil Armstrong met a couple of Russian astronauts, and Armstrong said, and the Soviets, he was looking at the Soviets, and he was using this old ass pencil that was built in like 19 something or other, and he pulls out this big technical pen, and the Russians start laughing. He goes, "What's so funny?" And the Russian says, "Typical American, just throw money at the problem. Don't use your brain." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "How much did pen cost?" And this is back in the 60s. So yeah, comparison-wise, it cost of inflation. It was probably a couple of billion now. And to devise a pen that can write in zero gravity, that can write underwater and have all these other functions, and the Soviets just used a pencil. A pencil. Something that you make sure that your kid has in his backpack ready for school.
Mm-hmm.
The most simplest things will escape the most sharpest minds. Confucius.
It's because they try to overcomplicate.
Yes, exactly. They try to future-proof. How can you future-proof a pencil? Think about it. It's like trying to picture a T-Rex trying to make a bed. And now that, and this is the fucked up thing. They're more talking about bringing back dinosaurs. I'm like, oh, okay, so you want to make Jurassic Park real more than actually look to the stars and get the space program, not just my space program or our space program, but the space program back on track. Because, and I hate to say this, but the only time the human race has made any kind of technological evolution is during wars.
Yep.
And that is sad. That in order for the human race to progress forward, we have to do it by standing on the corpses of our brothers and sisters on the battlefield. Now, doesn't that just make you sad?
It does.
It makes me want to cry. There are times when I think about it, and I just sit there and I cry. I mean it. I'm serious. I'm serious. And this is probably the first time even my wife is hearing this. There are times when I sit there and I think that there are people who have absolutely no clue about A, what the internet is, or B, what the internet does, that are passing these stupid fucking copyright laws that affect everyone, myself included, because I have multiple YouTube channels, I have a Twitter account, I have a Facebook. Every time they say this is now illegal, like they're trying to ban e-cigarettes, for crying out loud. Why the hell are they trying to ban e-cigarettes? They're healthier for you than regular tobacco.
It's because big tobacco ain't making money off of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. If big tobacco, who's in the pocket of many others, they're lobbyists and above lobbyists, had money to be made through e-cigarettes, there wouldn't be this issue.
I mean, I just took a couple of drags off my e-cigarette right here while I'm doing this podcast.
I vape mine daily.
I know you do. I vape because of you. I vape to support you so that you don't go back to big tobacco. And I've noticed, and again, I am not sponsored at all by any e-store, or anything like that. I'm doing this podcast, supporter free. If you want to support this podcast, please contact me at Danny Monahan. Just email me at malavictus@gmail.com. That's malivictus@gmail.com. I'll put a link in the video description. Of course, this podcast will be available for download from my Google Drive for up to a month. Then after that, it'll be archived and probably moved over to a file sharing website. So I hope you heard it, NSA. Or better yet, how about this, NSA? Why don't you just make a server and call it nsaserverfiles.com so people could just download from you guys. But no, the point being is a friend of mine posted on my Facebook, talking about Facebook, he posted on my Facebook something about, we must congratulate the Republicans. They crashed the economy, blocked the recovery, blamed it on Obama, and it's working. And truth be told, that is the truth. That's exactly what happened. Now, I may alienate some Republican friends of mine, and I am sorry about that, Mr. Limbaugh. I am sorry about that, Bill O'Reilly, But at the end of the day, once you've aligned yourself to one specific power, the only way I can even make head nor tail of your governmental system is it's like Star Wars. The Republicans are the Sith, and the Democrats are the Jedis, and the Droid Federation is the Tea Party.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds silly, but that's the only way I can make sense of it. Is I have to give them, something I can associate with, and it's sad. It really is sad. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Well, what are you? Are you a Republican or a Democrat, Danny?" I'm neither. I am true friggin' neutral. I don't care. Now everyone goes, "Oh, there's no such thing as true neutral." Actually, yes, there is. I don't care if a black man become president. I don't care if a white man becomes president. I don't care if a Native American becomes president. I don't care if a homosexual becomes president. I don't care if a lesbian becomes president. I don't care if a cross-dressing, RuPaul freaking mixed with the biggest butch freaking bearded lady you can come across becomes president of the United States. I don't care. What I care about is that person has the open freaking mind and fortitude to understand that it's not corporations and companies that need protecting, it's people. Yep. That's what I care about. I understand that corporations and companies means jobs and employment, Well, guess what, motherfucker? So does going to a farmer and giving him subsidies to hire people as farmhands.
Yes.
Not this whole, oh, we're going to pay you money not to grow crops. Oh, we have a food shortage. Let's import it. You know, and that's another thing. I've got friends that are in the TSA. Yeah, boo, the TSA. And they've already told me that about 60 to 70% of shipping containers that come in at the major ports in Florida and California don't even get checked or scanned. Think about that for a second. They don't get checked. They don't get scanned. They don't even get a drug sniffing dog anywhere near them. And you want to know why? And that's another thing. Why does America want to declare war on everything? The war on obesity. The war on drugs. The war on the war. My good God, Matt. Why does everything have to be a war with you people?
It's because the governments believe that if you hear that it's a war, that you're more likely to be scared straight, so to say.
No, there is no scaring straight. There is absolutely no scaring straight required for one simple reason, okay? And you may agree with me on this, you may not agree with me on this, honey. This is why I love you. This is why I love you for all your faults and you love me for all of mine. Declaring war on something is about as smart as asking a blind man to give you a shave and put makeup on. Seriously. Come on, people. And this is another thing. These closed-minded fucktards, okay? And I'm even including President Obama in this, who has openly said, yes, he's smoked marijuana. He's a functioning member of society, wouldn't you say?
You would think.
So, how is it that marijuana is apparently a gate drug? Do you see President Obama in the Oval Office bathroom shooting heroin in his foot?
Nope.
Or in his eyeball? Or do you see a great big line of coke from here to freaking Alabama and him just snorting it up? No. Again, look at Colorado. Colorado has made in excess of over $1 billion in tax revenue just from legalizing marijuana.
Yes, they have.
Let alone what Washington State has made. That's that's extra revenue that they actually have that the government can't touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the state to spend on the state.
They spend it on their roads. They spend it on...
Yep, which is why Colorado has officially lowered its state tax in the last... It's lowered it by, I think, like 3%.
Yes.
It is now it is now cheaper in the state of Colorado to purchase things like guns than anywhere else because the state tax is down by 3%. You're saving almost $2,000, for example, on an AR-15. Not the assault rifle. Everyone goes, well, that's what AR means. No. Assault rifle does not... AR does not mean assault rifle. It means... It could be Knight's Armament. It could mean the company. Again, according to Joe Biden, why buy an AR when you can just get a shotgun and fire it twice in the air? Okay, if you got a double-barrel shotgun and fire it twice in the air, the thief's going to know, wait a minute, you just emptied your gun. He's going to pull out his 9mm and put 2 into you, and he's still got 9 in the chamber to take out the rest of your family. Because you stupidly took your shotgun and shot it in the air like a spastic. I'm sorry.
But see, to them, that is how we should protect our homes. That is how we should be. I'm sorry. If an armed person walks into your house...
You have every right to drop him down quicker than shit.
Put one between his damn eyes.
Yep.
Now, when I rodeoed, I was a single female, alone on the road. I didn't have anybody with me. You're damn right, in the front of my truck there was a handgun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that you did, because you're still alive. You know, a maniac could have taken you. But no, I'm a firm believer in the right to bear arms. I have owned firearms. I do own firearms. And I know firearm safety. That's what the British Army teaches you. You know, it's not like, it's not like a trained org, and those who are a gathering player knows what I mean. But at the end of the day, I am a firm believer in this country. I'm a firm believer that this country can grow prosperously without declaring war on everything, without tearing itself apart with mistrust. Because, see, that's what not a lot of people seem to understand. And I'm sorry if what I have to say right this second upsets some people who listen to this podcast. I do apologize up front. But you fucking idiots have lost the war. You've lost. You've lost the war in Afghanistan. You've lost the war in Iraq. You've lost the war on terrorism. You've lost the war on drugs. You've lost the war, period, for one simple reason. Who's to say that Al-Qaeda and all these other bad guys, end goal was not to actually fire a shot, but to watch you people tear yourselves apart? Think about it, just for a quick second. You've got the CIA spying on your own government. Unsanctioned. Spying on your own government.
Yeah.
You've got the NSA flying drones over US airspace, spying on its civilians. The NSA hiring hackers to hack Facebook, Google, Yahoo. And if the hackers can't get the job done, they go to a closed courtroom where you're not even allowed to get the transcripts. You're not allowed to get any kind of information whatsoever, where warrants are being issued to go to the ISPs, your internet service providers, and demand that they give you every text you've sent on a cell phone, every text you've sent via Yahoo, Hotmail, Gmail, any kind of communication that is not encrypted in any way, shape, or form is immediately handed over to them, will and nilly. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And then they'll go through and they'll ridicule your entire life. Your entire life. And if they find something in there that they deem, not that the law deems, that they deem is illegal, you're going to find yourself with a black bag over your head in a foreign country where you're being waterboarded for information that you probably know nothing on. It's just their algorithms. You said bomb, Allah, president, White House, or something stupid like Swordfish, just like the movie Swordfish. There are several rogue government agencies, and I will call them rogue government agencies. The CIA is a rogue government agency. Okay, they are. They're supposed to have a command structure and everything, but they don't, because if they did, why would they spy on their own government?
They wouldn't.
That is the actions of a rogue government agency that should be shut down immediately. Should lose all funding. Everyone in charge should be put in handcuffs, all the way up from the guy in the office wearing the suit to the guy out in the field. They should be held responsible for everything they've ever done. And not in an open court. Not in a closed court, sorry. In an open court. Where they can be faced by their accusers.
You're right.
And I'm not talking about a Congress meeting where everybody knows that it's just for show and tell. I mean an honest-to-God tribunal without senators but the Joe public.
Right.
Where they have to answer to the Joe public. Where they have to say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I didn't mean to kidnap your grandpa, and throw him in Guantanamo because he said Ali Akbar as a joke. That's how bad it's gotten in certain areas where it's like, and I'm going to say this word, and I don't mean it in a derogatory term, but the word nigger. Okay? It's gotten to the point where you can go to some states, and I'm not going to say the states' names, and you can openly say the nigger word. And I'm not going to call it the N word, because giving that word power makes that word even worse. I am not afraid to say the word nigger. Okay?
Well, what makes that word so taboo is the fact that they themselves walk around, oh my nigger, oh my this, oh my, yet, and their friends do it. Their white wigger friends. do it.
Yes.
But if a person just kind of turns and says it, it's, oh my God. It's just like if you you've met some of my old rodeo friends. If you turned around to them and called them a redneck, depending on how they thought you meant it, some would say thank you, and others would go, oh, you didn't just go there.
Exactly. Every word has its good side and its bad side. And I'm sick and tired of this politically correct shit. I'm going to go on the record and say something right here. Again, I'm sorry if what I have to say offends anyone, but toughen up, nut up, buttercup, which is simply this. Fuck politically correctness. I'm sorry, it's not season's greetings, it's Merry fucking Christmas. Okay? Now, I am baptized Catholic. Does that mean that I care about Jesus and he died on the cross for my sins and all that stupid shit? No. I was baptized Catholic when I was a baby. It's not like I can jump up like I'm Stewie and just say, grab a laser gun and put it to the priest's head and say, touch me one more time, motherfucker. I can't do that. But the point is, I am a grown-ass man, and I am sick and tired of seeing these goddamn companies, Sears, Walmart, Kmart, whoever, trying to be politically correct by saying, oh, hello, my African-American friend. Oh, hello, my Hispanic friend. Oh, hello, my, Native American friend. Hello, my Pakistani friend. Hello, my Hindu friend. Hello, my Asian friend. That right there pisses me off. Okay? Again, I'm not ignorant. Don't get me wrong. I have black friends. See, I call them black. I don't call them African American. And that's the thing. When I first meet them, I ask them, do you prefer the term, black, African American, what? I try to get what they want to be called out for. The very first black friend I ever had, his name was David Martin. I even remember the guy. His mother and my mother grew up in the part of South London. So they were best friends, and it was just natural that me and Martin were going to be friends. Me and David, sorry. And I looked at him and goes, would you like to be called? He went, I don't care, you can call me Susan if it makes you happy. I'm like, okay. He was that laid back. Do you understand? And it's that sort of thing that I've grown up around, is being laid back. And another thing I'm really just is in England, an AC1 is white male, AC2 is white female. Do you see what I'm saying? They have a code word for each one. That's fine, okay, because that's a military term. I can understand that. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. I can understand those. But when, and as you put it, you get two black guys. Oh, what's up, nigga? And if I'd said that, I would have probably gotten beaten down.
Oh, you would have.
For one reason, and it's not because they find it insulting. It's because I'm a white person and they think I'm insulting them. Do you see? And the truth be told is, I'm not insulting anyone. Again, I have black friends. And they even call me nigger. It's like, what's up, nigger? And they'll give me a hug, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you, brother? And yes, I even call black people my brother, because they are. Some of them I've known since military.
What's good?
And
$178.
So, again, guys, just food for thought on this podcast. I'm going to end this podcast here. It's gone on for 43 minutes. And, so yeah. Just remember, guys, again, if you can, and you've listened to this entire podcast all the way to the end, thank you. And drive safe if you're listening to this in your car. Fly safe if you're listening to this on an airplane. Sit safe if you're listening to this on YouTube. But just in general, be safe, guys. And remember, think. Don't just be a monkey. Okay, guys? Do your research. And as always, guys, take care.